How's it going, everybody? I'm going to throw up my Xbox One collection here today. I'm going to also show my two 360 games that I have, physical copies. Maybe at some point I'll do my digital collection as well, because I have a decent amount of games on my on the Xbox One hard drive and the external hard drive I have hooked up to it. Because 500 gigs, as everyone knows, is not nearly enough, so you need to be busting at least a terabyte external onto those things. Just because it's game download, when like game downloads for the Xbox One, like the big games, and then just the installs are huge too. It's funny, I did one of these back in, I believe, March, and I have 10 games. I had 10 games then. I have 10 games now. I'm talking about the Xbox One games, and it's funny if anybody, because I'll do one in the future too, and if you like watch them over time. I won't go usually more than like 20 games max for a system. The PS3, I had a really good collection going back in like 2009. 2010, I had like 40-something games, and then my PS3 died, and I was like, you know what? I'd picked up a cheap Xbox 360, so I just moved all my PS3 games. Anyway, you'll notice there's 5 games that were in that video that are gone, and then I have 5 new ones in there, so it's kind of funny to see. It doesn't really expand the collection. Sometimes it will by littles, but it changes the games. But I'll just show these 2 Xbox 360 games. I think I actually showed a few, and the other one 2 360 games, but I'm pretty sure this was one of them. Or maybe that was just a video game collection. Metal Gear Rising Revengeance. Sorry about the glare. Cool game. I have not beaten it. I actually need to start playing it again because it is backwards compatible now on the Xbox One. But it's cool. It's, hack and slash type stuff. You use Raiden here, who first appeared in the second Metal Gear Solid 2. And it was like a big thing back then, a big reveal that people didn't like back then. I don't know how they like it now. I didn't care. Honestly, I didn't mind. But it's cool from what I played. It's crazy. I like taking the legs off the giant Metal Gear type stuff and then shit. It's cool. And the second one is, I picked this one up at a garage sale for, I think it was $2 over the summer. But it's a game I had when it came out. I wanted it so bad. And it's Dead Rising. This is one of my favorite games, probably of all time. And definitely in my top 5 of last generation as well, like the 360 PS3 generation. It says here, the game was not developed, approved, or licensed by the owners or creators of George A. Romero's Dawn of the Dead, because just like Dawn of the Dead, in this, you're in a shopping mall and you're killing zombies. It's cool. It's got Frank West, who, has gained fame as a video game character over time. I just love this game. Like, and I haven't played it since I picked this one up, but I've played this game like 3 times, and the psychos are great in this one. It's just fun, man. And like I said, when it came out, I was just like, this is so cool. I love the environment of the mall and stuff, and just going into different stores, picking up all types of weapons. This one does have the time limit, but it's cool because I think they did away with the time limit, I believe, in 4. I only played the trial for 4. But in this one, like, you could get screwed pretty quickly, but the plus was if your time limit went down, you could restart the game and actually have the stats you built up. So at least there was that. But it didn't bother me too much, because I never really became a problem. You gotta help survivors and stuff who can be pains in the asses. But I love this game. Still do too. That's not backwards compatible though, because I know they released HD versions of like the first and second one. It's just, And onto the Xbox One games. And here is one that was not in the last collection, and that is Dead Rising 3. I picked this up, when did I get this? Maybe, I think in August. Picked that up for cheap. This game is awesome. Like, this game, I may have more, I guess, feelings, nostalgia. Obviously, nostalgia. This actually has been out for over 3 years. Actually, 4 years at this point. Jesus. But just like a more nostalgia and stuff and just enjoyment out of this one. But this one does everything right. They got it all right in this one. I like the second one as well. It's probably my least favorite of the 3. But like I said, I only played the trial of 4, but I know 4 is like a quite a bit different than these. This one does everything right. Like, you can combo the weapons that you couldn't do in the first, but you could do in the second. But you can combo them as long as you have the 2 and you have the blueprints. You can just combo them anywhere you are. So that's awesome. You don't have to go find a workbench, and it's just so satisfying. There's so many zombies on screen, and you're just destroying them. And I did this thing. I think it's pretty well known because I heard it on a Giant Bomb, and then that was like 2 years ago, 3 years ago. I heard that, and then I ended up remembering it. But you can get like the blueprints because they'll like upgrade. So you'll get like, it was like a sickle and something else, and it was like the Grim Reaper or something. Then you added like some kind of fire stuff to it, so then it launched that fire, and then you could upgrade it again. So you would just, I forget what it's called, like the Ultimate Grim Reaper, I think. And you can find all these blueprints in the first area of the game, and you're just swinging this thing around, and it's chucking out little grenades, and your PP is going up so quickly. It's nuts. You can level up so fast doing that. And another way I leveled up, because I didn't even realize this actually at the time until like 4 hours of playing just the first area. I'm like, why can't I move on? This is weird. I can't move on. I was like, what the hell? I was playing it for a while. I did all the little BS that was in that area. And I'm like, why can't I move on? And then I'm like, there's got to be something wrong here. So I look it up. I'm trying to figure it out, and then I realized that the game I started playing, because it will let you play after, before it's fully installed, you can start, and I did that, and it wasn't fully installed, so I had to I had the game this is the thing too, I had not played anything else, so this game was, the Xbox, if you just cancel out of the game and turn it off, you turn it back on and just click on Dead Rising 3, and it starts back where you were. It's like a pause. And I went back and shut it, canceled out, just started up another random game, and then put it back on, and I was able to continue. So I was like, oh, thank God, because not that it was insane, and I could have just redid it, but I didn't really want to. But I actually ended up getting a lot of levels that way as well. But like I said, super fun. You use Nick Ramos in this one. He's a pretty cool character. I like him. There's other characters in there as well. There are still psychos in this one. They're not as classic as like the original or even the second one, but they're still good. The world's pretty big. You can make vehicles. You can combo vehicles, and you're like steamrolling stuff, flames coming out, just crushing zombies by like the hundreds. It's so fun. You'd be hard pressed to find just a game that's more pure fun than this one. It's phenomenal. It looks good. Even though it was a launch title, it still looks really good. I played it almost 4 years after it came out, but it's really good for sure. Second one is another one. Actually, these first 3 were not in my original collection. This one I got for my birthday, which would have been in my birthday pickups, actually. It's Dishonored 2. I will admit I had this on my list for my birthday. 2 other ones that I ended up getting, and Final Fantasy 15, which I didn't end up getting, which I was a little disappointing. I would have chose that over this at the time. Now, I still want to play Final Fantasy 15, and I'm hoping to get it for Christmas, but this game's awesome. I really enjoyed the first one a lot. It has almost like a little bit of a Bioshock feel in the game world. Not like in how... there are powers in this one as well. You get all types of crazy powers. But this one's awesome. I am glad I ended up getting this one because it's great. You do the same choices. You can choose how you want to deal with the people you have to assassinate, if you want to let them live. And then, certain things will change or whatever. It helps your chaos level. But you use Emily, Caldwin, or you can use Corvo again. I played through as Emily, and now I started another playthrough with Corvo. It makes more sense to play with Emily, because one of them will get, turned to stone at the beginning. But it's cool. Game world's still cool, and it's got a really cool look to it and stuff. And the powers are still cool. Corvo's are better than Emily's. Emily's are good, but Corvo is more, he has a lot of the stuff from the first game and shit. And you could actually play the game without that, which is pretty crazy. Powers kind of make it fun, but I was pretty stealthy in this game, actually, surprisingly. I didn't go nuts. I think in the first one I might have been more high chaos. This one I was not. I was low. But you can lower your chaos pretty easily if you don't choose to, not kill the people you're supposed to execute. But yeah, it's definitely a really cool game. Dishonored 2. And here's the other one. Well, one of the other ones, I should say, that was not in that one, and that's Fallout 4. Obviously, I guess all of them came in. Well, I guess Xbox versions at least. Fallout 3, I did not use that download code because I've already played Fallout 3. This game's awesome too, man. I put a ton of time into this. I even went back and did the I originally played it as the Minutemen ending, and then I went back to another save and I did the Brotherhood of Steel ending, and then I did the Institute's ending, and I still want to go back and do the Railroads ending. But there's a ton of different side quests you can build in this one. You can build like bases because you get areas, communities to build up, and you bring in people. You set up a beacon, people come in, they'll get attacked randomly. You have to go help them. But you can build weapons for them, defense, walls, beds. You got to always keep up with this stuff too, food and stuff. It's pretty cool actually. Super fun. The game world's great. It looks great. I did not find all the little Pip Boys. I found, I don't know, I can't remember how many I actually found. You get your dog companion in this one, or you get other companions as well that will come with you throughout the game. I think his name's Nick Valentine, the synth detective. There's a woman, I can't remember her name. She's a reporter. She can come with you. There's a Hancock, who's like the ghoul. He'll come with you. You have a couple different people in there, and it's cool. It's like same thing as like the other Fallout. And I never played the first two. I know Bethesda didn't originally own that. They bought it from, I guess, the original people. But it's like Elder Scrolls 2. You can just spend an hour and a half, 2 hours just go looking for random things. Enemies are cool. The music's great in this. This actually has a map, which is nice. Or maybe it's not even a map. It could be just the perks. I don't know if I ever looked at it. But yeah, the perks are still cool and stuff. You got the Bloody Mess again and the Mysterious Stranger and stuff. It's a lot of cool stuff going on in this game. Next one's the game that came with the system. It's Gears of War 4, which also has a download for all the other games. I actually only used the Gears of War Judgment one because I wanted to go back and play that again. And I really enjoyed that Gears of War, actually. This one's really cool. You play as Marcus Phoenix's kid. I don't even remember his name. It doesn't say anything on the back of this. And I can't remember your buddies' names either. Marcus does come along after like the second chapter or something like that. And fights with you. You actually do a mission during the Pendulum Wars that they always talk about in these games with Dom, who I think died in the third one. So that was kind of cool because you're just fighting other humans. You're not fighting the Locust, or they're not even the Locust in this one. I can't remember. Like I said, it's been a long time. There's something else that is just similar to the Locust. I forget what they are called though. But it's cool. You use robot. You get into like big mechs towards the end, which is awesome. It's classic Gears of War shooting. It's very technically, very excellent game. And it looks great. Can't remember his name. But yeah, it's a cool game. This one is my girlfriend's game. It's cool though. It's classic. It's it's all based off classic games, King's Quest that I remember from back in the day. We have not gotten past the second chapter on this. We have not gone back and played it. But you got to make choices and see. We want to redo the second one because like 2 people ended up dying, and we just kind of want them back. But it's cool. It looks cool, and you're just solid. It's like a classic old school point and click game, and it's fun. I saw they had a Siberia 3, but it reviewed terribly. I really liked that first Siberia game. I don't think I played the second. Here's another one. I'm not sure this one was in my last collection, but it's Metal Gear Solid 5: The Phantom Pain. This game, I don't hate it, but I have not beaten it. I keep forgetting, like, none of these games have manuals anymore. It looks phenomenal for sure, and I don't know, it's open world, which is, different for this series. You can go around and do different things, and you have Mother Base in this one because you're your big boss. There's a reveal on that, which I already knew about before. I didn't care, but you use him. So obviously you have Mother Base and stuff, because obviously he's the enemy. He's the main villain in the original Metal Gear for the Nintendo. But you can build up Mother Base in this one, which is obviously talked about in the first game, and you can recruit guys. You like attach a little thing to them, and it shoots them a balloon, and it shoots them up into like freaking the air. It's kind of funny. But you can go in and you can do different missions, and you gotta like get different kinds of blueprint type things for guns and stuff. And then you do the other missions with the bad guys, whatever that one's called. It's the opposite of Fox, XOF or whatever. So there's weird enemies and stuff like that. I can't even remember a lot about this because I haven't played it in a while. But when you get in there and you're doing it, it's in Afghanistan, so it's very deserty type stuff, mountains and stuff, and it's cool when you get it done right. It's like awesome, but sometimes when you screw up, it's not fun just blowing people away in these games. You can, and not really no problem, but it's a little frustrating. But I don't know. It's just I don't know. I don't hate it. I need to get back into it. Actually, is what I need to do. But it's like at first I was really enjoying it, and then I stopped, and then I stopped enjoying it, and then I picked it up again. I was enjoying it again. It was kind of those games I was enjoying it for like an hour or two, and then the enjoyment would go away. I don't know. Like I said, I gotta get back into it. And here's the last one that was not included in the last one. That's Resident Evil Origins Collection. The two GameCube ones, although the remake of the original for PlayStation, and Zero. I gotta tell you, I mean, they look good still, and they made them look a little spiffier. But if you go back and play the GameCube ones still look incredible too. It's ridiculous how good those still look. But they're cool games. A lot of nostalgia, especially for the remake, the Resident Evil remake. A lot of nostalgia for that one. I remember pre-ordering that one, and it was great. Zero, I didn't beat it back then. I don't think I ever actually have. But they're cool. This one, you use Rebecca Chambers and Billy, and that's the one that has like the co-op type stuff where you're not playing with somebody else, but you can tell them to go they got to do something else while you're doing something. It can also be annoying in some instances when they're getting wailed on. You like leave them in a room where they're getting wailed on, you forget. But they're classic games, these two. I'm glad I have this just to go back and play these. And here's the latest Resident Evil. Resident Evil 7, Biohazard. This game is awesome. I love this game. I know they're releasing the gold edition of the game, but you're getting the free Chris Redfield, Not a Hero, download in December. I think another one comes out in December, and I still got to play the other two they've originally already put out. I have not played them that have been out. Little download things, but I need to play those. But this game's awesome. It's completely different. It's in first person. This, in my opinion, I mean, I love the Resident Evil games. I do love their atmosphere and stuff. And I like the storyline, which is off the rails, but it gets a little bit crazy. Similar to Metal Gear Solid and any Metal Gear games. But it, legitimately creepy. For me, personally, it's legitimately the only really creepy Resident Evil game that I've played. Like, Silent Hill, at least for me, level of creepiness. Maybe not on that level, because Silent Hill is just straight, like, dread almost, because the atmosphere is just so suffocating. But it was creepy. There was creepy parts in this. It's cool. The characters are all cool. It's crazy stuff happens in this, man. And different things happen, which is cool. Because on my first playthrough, there's a part where you have to get into this crawl space thing, and you're getting chased by a daddy. I can't remember their names either. The family, the father, and you have to get in this thing, gotta get a key, get in there. And the first time I got in there, fine. The second time I was playing it, he grabs me and just cuts my leg off, like half my leg off, and he throws the healing thing, and that's how you find out how to use healing things, because, obviously some kind of healing gel is going to obviously put your leg back on. You lose your freaking hand in the beginning, and it gets, like, stapled back on. It's intense, it's gruesome, it's really cool. I really like this game a lot. And there's a cool saw type section in here. I think the next one of the other downloads that's coming out is going to be similar. But it's a saw type section where you got to do certain things and stuff. Definitely cool. This next game, I got this game for $4. I'm pretty sure it was $4 new online. I don't know, this game's like super cheap now, but it's Sunset Overdrive. I think it almost immediately became cheap, but this game's awesome. It's made by the guys who do Ratchet and Clank and the Resistance series of games. And it's like Ratchet and Clank and Resistance, you get all types of crazy guns. This is open world, so you can fly all. It's got a lot of like Infamous in there as well. You grab it on wires, you're shooting across wires and stuff. It's just it flows. You're just like off the ground most of the time. It's crazy. It looks really good. I mean, some of the humor is a little, I guess, I don't want to say, it's like that generic type gross out like humor you get, like almost like immature type humor. But there's legitimate funny stuff in there as well. Buzz Osborne from the Melvins actually does his voice in this, which is kind of cool. But it's really fun though. It's really fun. There's a downloadable thing for this too. I want to play. I forget what it's called. Something oil rig. But the boss fights are pretty cool. I mean, you fight like a giant thing. I forget. It's like some kind of I forget what it's called. Let's see if it has it on here. Just says contaminated energy drink. I think it does have a name now. It turns everybody into like mutants. But that's cool. And there's also like defense levels in this as well, where you got to like set up tower defense type stuff to stop things from coming in. Those are pretty cool. A little bit of a change of pace, but really cool game. I mean, it's probably the best value I've ever gotten in a game for a new game at $4. And the last one is The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt. Absolutely phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal. I still need to play the first downloadable one, Hearts of Stone. I'd watched most of that before I got the Xbox One on a gameplay video, because I'm that into it. I read the books now and stuff, because these are based off of books, but they're like continuations of books. But supposedly the author doesn't really care for the stories too much in these. I know they're making a TV series on Netflix, I think, for this at some point, which would be awesome. Books are great, and the games are awesome too. I actually only played a little bit of the first one. I actually have it on Steam. But I've played the second one I played on Xbox 360. I saw a gameplay video of it. I'm like, oh, this seems cool. I picked it up and enjoyed the hell out of it. And this one's awesome. I also played the Blood and Wine expansion, which was phenomenal as well. And they gave you some free downloadable missions also, which was cool. Gwent is in here, which is now its own game, and I tried playing it because it was like a free trial. And it was completely, not completely different, but it was they added a lot of different things and stuff. And it was a little bit different in terms of just the things you could do than the one in this. And obviously, I was kind of turned off by it. I mean, I might go back to it, though, to try to get into it, because the Gwent's really cool. But you use Geralt. He's the Witcher. He's an awesome character. A lot of the characters in this game are cool. It looks amazing. It's violent as hell. You got to be smart in this game. You got to, at least for me, it wasn't as hard as the second one, but you got to use your oils on swords, take certain potions to go into battles, because you can take a beating real quick from some of the enemies in this game. The story's pretty cool for sure. It's just really fun. Another game to just go around and do stuff. And some of the missions are funny. Like the one lady's looking for a frying pan, and then there's missions that are really grim as well. The Bloody Baron story quest line is actually very grim. But like I said, in the world of The Witcher, it's like a lot of you don't get really a lot of happy endings in the Witcher world. It's a very, in some ways, depressing world. But it's a phenomenal game. It really is. I can't remember. I mean, I'm sure everybody's already played this. I couldn't recommend it enough, though. It's so good. It's so good. But yeah, there's my collection. Like I said, it's not big, but I think it's kind of funny to, if anybody ever keeps track, to just see what's been swapped out from this one. Is I sold Halo 5, Far Cry Primal, Rise of the Tomb Raider, Assassin's Creed Syndicate, and no wait, Rise, Son of Rome, and I always forget the last one. Assassin's Creed Syndicate, Halo 5, Rise, Son of Rome, Battlefield Hardline, Rise of the Tomb Raider, and Far Cry Primal. Battlefield Hardline was the other one. But I had actually sold Battlefield Hardline before I even did my first collection video, so that was never in one. But yeah, thanks everybody for checking this out, and have a good day.